All right. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Crimson Skies. This I'm probably going to make unlisted. I don't know yet because this is mainly just for the silver like theory chat that I have in my team's Discord. Since I haven't really been able to get with the team, I'm just going to make this video. So I spent like 6 hours Thursday looking over the demos and then looking up smokes and util and then kind of coming up with concepts we could probably do to maybe help our T side nuke, right? And there was a lot of outside stuff we could do. I kind of just simplified to just a few executes. I think we could kind of rotate between to kind of like just be able to kind of do stuff as T's because we were really lost on our T side in particular. We barely won any rounds. It felt really garbage. So we're gonna start with outside, baby. Now there was a million smokes, right? There's kind of the shield wall you can do here, and then you look at like right here, and then you look here. I don't like it because you still have to kind of run up and then throw a third smoke like that. Now this one still has an option for 3, but there's really only 2 we need. I'll show the third one with it though. So the optional one is this, which is just a jump throw. And then we have here on the window, jump throw, and then we have here on the corner is a W jump throw. What this does, that optional one completely covers hut. This covers kind of the center area, and then this covers garage. So we can take outside. What we could do with that then is we could get maybe 2 grenades as we come up here and then just throw right over red. So if a CT decides to kind of push up and contest outside, he'll take 2 grenades right behind blue box, effectively giving us total control on the outside. I really like this because maybe we don't have an op because we dropped the one. Oh, it disappeared. Because we dropped this one for the rounds we don't have an op. For the rounds we don't have an op, right? As we come up, we go up. Our silo player comes up here. He can then just immediately run down here. Okay, well, maybe not do what I did. maybe not do what I did, huh? Maybe not do what I did. Okay, we'll throw it one more time just to kind of keep it fresh. Throw. Silo player then runs up. You hear it pop. Comes up this way. I'm not exactly a movement pro here. And he can hop down here. They can't stop him, and he can help with the fight here with the AK to take outside control. Once again, the whole concept with this is to give us outside control and be able to kind of just run down secret. Maybe we want to kind of run through the smoke into huts, which, I'd really rather we didn't do. Just throw a flash real quick, and then we can push in. But the concept is we didn't really have any outside pressure. People didn't seem to know any smokes or anything like that. So with those 3 smokes, we can literally throw the 2 slant smokes every single round just to keep them from really knowing what we're doing, right? Put that pressure outside, force them to have to, like, keep their garage player in position because they don't know if we're sneaking outside or not. Giving us the ability to at least maintain some kind of pressure out here, even if we choose to go all inside, right? I feel like every single round these 2 smokes should be getting thrown. I feel like those are mandatory. Now, let's say we wanted to do an A execute. Okay, so that's our outside. Let's talk about A site now. A site has a lot of fun util we can use. Once again, I only chose a few very easy ones we can do to try and take this. So let's say pistol round, for example, we want to do a vent rush pistol round, right? It's one of my favorite strats to do on pistol round is to rush vent. What would we do? Well, we'd immediately after spawning shoot this, and then we'd have a smoke player get a molly as well. Smoke a molly. He'd come here, line up like this, and then he'd come up here, throw this. And with that, not only does it molly the top of hut, but they come in, they can still see vent. So they don't get lost in the smoke, right? They can just run right into vent. Everybody can make it nice and easy. Then our outside player can maybe just lurk. Then now our Roof player can lurk in lobby, or he can lurk outside. He can kind of be the chaos, right? Maybe catch rotations and stuff like that. So he probably should just sit in lobby then, in case trophy room wants to come up behind us, right? That'd be the concept of the vent rush. Okay, you get a molly, you get a smoke. We can get a super easy push into site with that. Now let's say we wanted to do an eco A, right? An eco A. We can do this, and we all want to rush out hut. That'd be kind of the idea behind it. Maybe have one sit and watch squeaky, but everyone would kind of line up here. The front player would come up here in this corner. Has 2 flashes. He throws this one, and then he throws this one, which is a W. This flashes all of rafters. Pretty much everything up here gets flashed. The one out here, I'll show you real quick with this rethrow, flashes everybody else. So anyone playing vents, they get flashed here. Someone wants to play hut, they get flashed. Everyone else gets flashed just by those 2 flashes. We'll be able to kind of run out nice and easy to take sight. Once again, all it is you stare at this like bolt. You throw that one, which is standing still, then you throw this one with a W. And then you just rush outside. Okay? An eco, push. An eco push. 4 people out hut, 1 person kind of hovers squeaky, and then we push on the site. Once again, and then if we wanted to do a proper execute, right, we could maybe have that flash, those 2 flashes still being used, but then the player would come up here with a grenade, smoke, and a molly. They would then come up onto silo. They would then come up onto silo, line themselves up right in the center over the black. Here, it's a very forgiving one, I'll be honest. Do W to make sure that the grenade actually hits the window. Okay, we need that. Maybe shoot out these 2. And then you line it up on this black pillar, right on the bottom corner of the window, and it's a jump throw. And that lands right in heaven. Right? That lands right in heaven. Then you get a molly. You want to aim basically at the black bolts coming in there, and it's a jump throw. This molly's hut. And then to wombo combo this with a flash. And then to wombo combo this with the flash, you just aim literally like right on the roof. And once again, super lenient. It's not that picky. And what that does is it flashes here. Someone wants to play vent. Okay, flashes them there. Someone is probably playing some goofy ass position over here. They get flashed by it. Here, they get flashed by it if they want to play up in rafters. After all, remember, there's a smoke, so they have to push outside, right? They have to push out. They get flashed. They get flashed, right? That's the concept. So the wombo combo is you come up here, you line up here, and remember, you're kind of safe, right? They can't exactly see you. You shoot these, you do a W throw, you do a quick lineup. Once again, this isn't super picky. Line up on this corner, jump throw, line up down here, jump throw, and then just... And now they're completely blind. They can't sit on hut. They can't sit in heaven. They should have been, once again, affected. Most of them should have been affected by the flashbang. So whoever's here can just push out. I think one of my favorite things about this flash is the squeaky players. They can come out here and have their own little wombo combo, right? Kind of the box standard, to be honest. Everyone does this. Smoke that, and then they can contest for this. They can sit here. They can literally sit here. And this flash, my favorite part about it, this flash doesn't affect them. Right? Watch this. So they can fight for this. Flash doesn't affect them. They can come out. I think they get affected here, right? So they'd want to just kind of hide here for a second. Fight. Once again, there should be a smoke there. They hear the flash pop. They come out. right? The hut people, they hear the flash pop, they rush out. It should be a really good A execute. And once again, your squeaky players can do that. Your two squeaky players can do that. They can try to take that control. And then meanwhile, your hut players can be doing some shit too, right? As they're waiting for that, they can get their two flashes going, and they can rush out too. So this should make an A execute really easy to do. And it's really hard to kind of combat this because there's three flashes popping off in this, in theoretical execute alone. Well, you got one player up top, so you'd have two hut and then two squeaky, right? All coming out, kind of causing problems. And then your hut player would drop back down a lobby, and he just catch any trophy rotations, stuff like that. Make sure people aren't coming from behind. That is the idea of the A execute, and then all of the util that I kind of came up with for this. There was some other goofy stuff that I was kind of playing around with, but to be honest, they're not necessary in terms of what I think we would want. There is a heaven smoke here, but the problem is I broke this glass. The heaven smoke only works if the glass is there, okay? Just so you know, this is going to miss, but you'd basically line up right here and you'd throw it. The glass would slow the momentum of the smoke, so it would actually tank down, land here, and then land right here basically, and then pop off. But it only works with the glass, so it's kind of why I'm not a fan of it. But you could, in theory, kind of wombo combo that with this, where you throw this and then you hop down. And then you throw that heaven smoke, which would break the glass and then land in heaven. Once again, you need the glass for it to work, so obviously it's not going to work. But that would be the other kind of heaven util we could use. Stand on there, you throw it, and then of course before you do that you throw your molly. You kind of just get that there. There's a there's a kind of funny grenade one. I didn't really find a real useful use for this one though. But you oh actually I kind of forgot it, to be honest. Yeah, I forgot it, so it's fine. It didn't really matter anyways, because like I said, I couldn't really come up with the proper strategy for the nade. But I got heaven, so that would be the A execute. We got an outside execute concept, right, that we can play off of. Now our ramp execute. Now ramp, this one was really super limited. My concern with it is there's only one real util piece I liked from everything I looked at, and it was just this, the one-way flash. But how can we do this without getting shot, right? One of the concepts I came up with is that maybe we have everyone coming this way, the person in front. He would throw this. Obviously, it's Crimson. What's up, man? He'd keep his gun out and he'd catch any aggression, right? His job after throwing a flash is catch any aggression. Second player would come up with that flash, which would flash anyone ramp. Comes up and throws it. I still feel this is too risky though, unless we get some practice in, which doesn't seem like we're going to be able to do some dry runs and getting speed and efficiency. So the safer thing I came up with is we come up here and we smoke ourselves off. CTs feel confident, there's no worries. We then come up here, line ourselves up on this chair, hold it for a second. The 2 goes underneath that roof tiling, and then 4 goes underneath, is on the closer D like bracket right there. You see that? So your right side 4 goes underneath the D bracket. Your 2 wants to be underneath that, and then you don't move your mouse. You line up the 1 to the darker circle, and you just throw. So once again, we throw a smoke. We quickly line up. We wait for the overlay to pop up. We line our 4 there. We go underneath the bracket. We don't move. We line up our 1, and we throw. And if you see, with the smoke, it's still a perfect God flash. Now this flash is really good. Like I said, I really like this flash. It was my favorite thing about it. It was more or less trying to figure out how we can safely use it so we can smoke ourselves off. Now every single position that people played, particularly this second ramp over here, a lot of our engagements on ramp, there was almost always a person here. That flash gets them. A good portion of times, there was a person almost always here. This flash gets them. This flash basically gets everybody except someone who sits on the right side, but they literally never did this. There was almost no one ever over here. However, to be honest, I don't think it matters because if we once again we smoke ourselves off as we come up. Our player comes in, he does the lineup, gets the 4D, 2 under. Once again, with practice, we should be really quick with this, right? We throw it, we rush out, and then our main priority should be coming out and fighting these guys, and then we go down and we clean up everyone who just got flashed. I think that's the way. Okay, and that would be kind of the A execute that I came up with. Once again, I haven't really been able to get together with anybody on our team, but that is what I came up with for our T-side util use and potential executes. That covers going outside, that covers a vent rush, because once again, I love doing vent rush. It's my favorite strat on Nuke. That covers an eco A execute and a full A execute, and it covers rushing, well, I guess pushing ramp. I believe with this, if we can get everyone together, maybe practice some dry runs of these so that we can really get the timings down on, how long, for example, it would take someone with a smoke and molly to come in here and set this up and then to run up to get their molly thrown. How long it would take for people to wait for that before they would then be able to run through the door, check behind the door, make sure no one's there, and then to run into vent. Okay? But that's what I got for Nuke, because Nuke was our weakest site, especially on our T side. We really struggled. CT side, there wasn't a lot of util, so I didn't really think of any useful util for it. I just really felt like we needed to have some concepts and smoke lineups and utility uses we could use for our T side so that we can get together and maybe do some dry runs and practices with it. But that's what I thought of. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you next time, okay? Peace out. Peace, 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 peace.